After Baki's demon brain awakened, his demon back also activated. At this point, Baki's speed had surpassed the limits of human reaction time. In just 0.2 seconds, Baki knocked out Oliva with a single punch. Knowing he couldn't dodge Baki's attacks, Oliva decided to activate his ultimate technique. He curled his body into a perfect sphere, with every part protected tightly by his joints, leaving no gaps whatsoever. Against Oliva in this state, no matter how fast Baki was, his speed was now useless. Baki attempted a jumping back kick, but found himself bounced back to his original position while Oliva remained completely unmoved. It turned out that through continuous training, Oliva could control every muscle in his body at will. So the instant Baki's attack landed, his muscles would involuntarily expand and counterattack. To break through Oliva's absolute defense, Baki decided to use the rigid body technique from judo. When the human body strikes a hard object, the joints act like shock absorbers. If one could make the joints rigid, the human body would become like an iron ball, unleashing terrifying power. Baki punched Oliva with tremendous force, but it felt like hitting a thick steel plate. Taking advantage of Baki's momentary confusion, Oliva suddenly grabbed Baki's wrist. Then, like a wild beast, he opened his massive mouth and swallowed Baki whole. Baki struggled desperately, waving his arms, but Oliva mercilessly stuffed him back in. When Baki was finally spat out, he lay on the ground unable to move. Seeing this, Oliva released his ultimate defense. Looking at the motionless Baki, Oliva began boasting, saying if Baki would just admit defeat, he'd spare his life. But instead of being grateful, Baki mocked Oliva, asking if he'd gone senile.
先ほどのあんたの言葉、俺の口から敗北を認めてほしいと願う心。今こうして動けぬ俺より確実に敗北に近い。
Seeing his opponent wouldn't listen to reason, Oliva decided to stomp Baki to death. He kicked Baki high into the air, intending to swallow him again with his technique. However, Baki had already figured out how to counter the same move. He jammed his fingers deep into Oliva's nostrils. Oliva, in pain, backhanded Baki away, but he wasn't much better off himself. Hot blood poured unstoppably from his nose. This completely enraged Oliva, but unexpectedly, Baki calmly made a suggestion. Hearing Baki's proposal, Oliva showed an excited expression. He didn't believe he could lose to someone 100 kilograms lighter than himself. Just then, a voice rang out. Mike Tyson shouted to Baki, "Have you considered why boxing has 17 weight classes? You're 100 kilograms lighter than him, this is suicide." Even so, Baki decided to try. At this moment, no one could stop their battle, the ultimate showdown between America's strongest man, Oliva, and the world's strongest high schooler, Baki Hanma. The two exchanged punches, blow for blow, striking at each other's faces. The tremendous force made both their bodies lean back repeatedly, yet neither showed any sign of retreat. The battle was so brutal that vultures had already gathered on the outside walls, ready to feast. At this moment, Baki had only one belief: defeat Oliva, using no techniques, relying purely on flesh and brute force. Under Baki's storm of attacks, America's strongest fighter was actually being pushed back. The watching guards removed their hats, offering these two warriors their highest salute. Oliva let out an unwilling roar and launched his final counterattack. But as the son of the demon, how could Baki give up so easily? He tightened his abs and headbutted Oliva with full force. In the end, Baki broke through that impenetrable defense and saw the outside world.